Hello, Kira. My name is Nivy. I'm going to be the social worker working with you today. Before we start, I just wanted to take a little bit to explain how the session will go. We will talk about what brings you in today for about 20 minutes, and then I will take a brief break at the end of that to kind of think about and reflect on what you will share with me today. And then after that break, I will return and hopefully have some feedback or suggestions to give you. Okay.
Okay, that sounds really good.
All right. Kira, how are you today? Can you tell me a little bit about how your week has been?
My week has been good. Um, I had off a couple of days of work, so just starting back up. My first day was yesterday. Um, but yeah, it has been life's been very calm.
Wow. Okay. Nice. So it
How
sounds
how are you doing today?
I'm good, Kira. Thank you for asking. Sounds like you've been able to enjoy your time off and relax a little bit. So what do you suppose I can help you with today?
Okay. Um, I guess I'm feeling a little, I guess, anxious or nervous about where my life is headed.
Hmm.
I think I would like to start there with that.
Okay. So you're feeling a little bit anxious. Where do you think that your life is heading? What makes you feel anxious about that?
I feel like because it's stuck, I feel like I have nothing like really big happening in my life, and I'm having my 10-year reunion for high school coming up in a few weeks. And I'm just like thinking about what I'm going to talk about with my old classmates. And it just kind of made me realize like what have I done in the past 10 years?
Hmm. Okay. So my next question is when you're thinking about attending this reunion, what do you suppose people will say to you when you talk about the things that are currently going on in your life?
I feel like I just feel like there's like a lot of classmates. Like I'm obviously really interested to hear about what they've been doing for the past 10 years. And I have seen some of them like come into my job site a few times. And I just like, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm really gonna like. I don't have like a selling point, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm, okay. No selling point. Um, my
Like
next,
nothing big, like crazy. Like I didn't, I don't know. Like I feel like, everybody's like having kids and married and like done this and this and that.
mm,
And I just been working at the same job for 6 years, delivering pizzas.
so that's what you do for work? You work as a delivery driver?
Yeah,
Okay.
and sometimes cashier if needed, but mostly the delivery driver.
Hmm. Um,
Which don't get me wrong, like I have no shame in that. I love my job. I love what I do. Um, it's just like I have like my master's and I have my undergrad, and like I just don't really know, like, am I selling myself short for not investing more time in that and just kind of doing like this easy route kind of
yeah.
vibe.
Easy route. Okay. What is your undergraduate degree and master's degree in?
My undergrad is business management, and then my master's is in education with leadership and policy focus.
Okay. Did you like going to school for that?
Yeah, I liked it more than I thought I would because when I was in my undergrad, I never really seen myself doing masters because I didn't really know like what that all entailed. And then I had a friend do it, and then I was like, oh, that's really cool. So then I decided to do it. And I liked education a lot more than business.
Hmm. Okay.
But then
So,
I think about like I haven't I finished my master's 3 years ago now.
Hmm. Well, that sounds like a pretty big success. Something something that you might enjoy talking about with some of your classmates if you were to attend the reunion.
Yeah, I think that'd be like a nice starter.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And then your current job. So you're currently working as a delivery driver. You have 2 degrees, um, but you're feeling a bit stuck in your current position.
Yes. But like stuck also like nervous in the fact that like I'm kind of like okay with it, if that makes any sense. Like I'm not in any rush to like stop doing what I'm doing and find a new job.
Hmm. Okay. So my question, I wonder what do you suppose needs to happen in order for you to feel like this you meeting with me today has been helpful?
Maybe reassurance that like that it's okay to not want. I mean, not saying that I don't want more in life, but like I guess maybe if we could like come up with a plan, maybe like a year or 2 year plan of like what, when do I throw in the hat? Be like, okay, it's time to like, do something more fulfilling in life.
Okay. Something more fulfilling. What does that look like to you?
Mm, the first thing that came to my mind was traveling, but I feel like that's the reason why I've stayed at my job so long because my boss is very like I've worked there since we opened, so he's very like lenient with me traveling. Like I can take off for like months at a time. I took off for 6 months one time, weeks, whenever. And since I've been there the longest, I also get like first pick at schedule and like what hours I want to work. So I feel like that's kind of what's been holding me there is like I think the hours and the pay is really good enough that like for what I want to do right now, I don't see like a problem with it.
Hmm.
But I
Okay.
know that like I just turned 28 this year. And I'm not saying there's like a time frame of like what, but like at some point like I don't want to keep doing this. Like I want to go and do what I originally wanted to do was like work with international students.
Hmm. Okay. And so you feel like your current job is helpful though for what you want to do currently. Sounds like you really enjoy traveling and maybe you've been able to go to a lot of different places and create new experiences.
Yes, it's like literally like I like I think that's like why I love it so much. At the end of the day, like but I also think like I just think it's crazy that it's been 6 years now working there. Like I only got this job as like part-timer to like push me through school. And then after that, then I'm like, all this time has passed. But I don't know. I just feel like the place isn't what it used to be, I guess. I feel like now this is like me gearing off, but for like my work-based life, it's like, like a lot of people that I started with don't work there anymore, and I don't have those connections with my coworkers anymore. And like I don't not that I don't get along with my coworkers, I just we don't have that relationship. So I feel like work has become more like a chore than anything. Like I don't find it exciting as I used to.
Of course, okay. 6 years is a long time to stay with a company or business. I think that shows that you're a very reliable, dependent worker. And it sounds like you care a lot about the work environment that's going on, and having close relationships, good, healthy relationships with your coworkers. I'm going to ask you a bit of a strange question. Um,
Oh,
so the question is, after we talk, let's say that you go back home, you do whatever else it is that you have to do for the rest of the day. And then the nighttime comes and it's time for you to go to bed, you fall asleep. And then in the middle of the night, a miracle happens. And the problem that has brought you in to speak with me today is solved. But since you were sleeping, you are not aware of this when you first wake up. So let's say tomorrow morning, what might be the first clue um, that tells you, wow, I think something must have happened. The problem is gone.
I would have to say I would, I guess, feeling of relief, I guess. That's like one thing I would notice is I would feel like the weight lifted off my shoulders. Like I wouldn't have like immediate urgency, like I'm on like running around constantly. Like, that's
Mhm.
just very calm.
Yeah, not running around, calm. What do you think would be different about the day that would make it feel calm and like you're not busy running around?
Mm, I wouldn't be at work. I would have the day off. I think that's what that's what it would be.
Mhm. And that would be helpful.
Mm, yes, for my mental health, but not at the same time because I do need the money. So I would be on a 50-50 there of, first I'd be like, yes, and I'd be like, oh, never mind, like I should be at work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you think that if you had the day off, it would help with your mental health. Um, what would be what else, what other signs would there be that a miracle has happened?
Mm, it'd be a nice day out. I think the weather would be nice and warm.
Mm. Okay. So earlier when I asked you about the start of your week and how your week has been going, you mentioned that you had a few days off. Um, do you feel like those few days off and not having to go to work resemble in the tiniest bit the miracle day in my question that I just asked you?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Can you
Because I
tell
just got to spend time at home with my family.
your family? Okay.
And I didn't have like worries about like work and like having to like be around certain coworkers and stuff. Because as much as like I value work a lot, I feel like at first I didn't like care, if like how work was. I was just there to work and go home.
Mhm.
But I've realized on like the other aspect is like my coworkers do mean a lot to me and how they treat me, and I feel like when they're having bad days or they're off, and then it just kind of pushes on to me. And then I
Mhm.
do have this one coworker that I feel like is like set out to bully me sometimes. I think she's not the nicest there, but
Mhm.
I just take it and just move on with my day. So I feel like that's a lot of anxiety I feel that I don't like to like take home with me. Like I'd like to leave that when I'm leaving work just to.
Yeah. Okay. And do you feel when you have those days off that, and you feel that it helps with your mental health, do you feel a difference when you return to work after having those? after having a day off or a few days off?
Yes, it makes it really hard to go back.
Hmm. Do you notice a difference in the way you and your coworkers communicate or, the interactions that you have with them?
I would say, yeah, I feel like when I go back in the beginning of the week, um, I feel like I'm happy and rejuvenated and I go back and I'm ready to like take on that. But then like, after a few days when it gets like bad, I feel like I start to like kind of not put up with it, I guess, more.
Hmm.
And then I kind of like I feel like I bring the bad energy home with me and complain about it to my friends and family because I like don't have, I can't complain about it at work. And I can't bring it up to my boss, so it's kind of like I just kind of got to deal with it on my own. Because like I like at the end of the day, like I said in the moment, it is very rough and tough, but like at the end of the day I'm like, these people aren't my friends, they're not part of my, you know, kind of what they say obviously like means something to me, but I have to remind myself that like, take it with a grain of salt, I guess.
Hmm. Okay. So it sounds like you really value the opinion of your coworkers and how they see you.
Yes, I do because I'm like I spend so much of my time at work. I feel like we all do. We spend if we're not home, we're at work or we're doing something, and that's like such a big part of our lives.
Yeah.
And I would just like that environment to be like a very safe and fun, welcoming environment.
Hmm.
And I think that's what's changed over the years is like, working with people that I actually liked and people who like me back and but now I just kind of like feel like working with strangers.
Mm.
I
Okay.
guess it's like a, say hi, common like courtesy, but at the end of the day, it's like I kind of feel alone now at work.
Yeah. So you want to feel closer to your coworkers.
Yes.
Suppose one of we I was going to ask one of your coworkers to describe what it is like to work with you. What do you think that they would say?
Mm, I would say fun and chaotic.
Oh, okay. Fun
Just
and
because I like, I don't know about them per se, but like when work comes, I leave everything at the door. Anything I'm like having problems with, if I'm not happy, but I try to be happy. So I'm usually like very bubbly at work. I try to be, bring up the mood sometimes.
yeah.
And I like to joke around with people.
Hmm. I'm surprised by your answer. You said fun and chaotic. That sounds like an enjoyable coworker to be around.
I think I am to them versus them to me.
Mm, okay. So you want your coworkers to also be that same way.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. What do you suppose you would have to do for them to feel like they can be fun and chaotic with you around you while you guys are at work?
Mm, I feel like I don't know if this sounds like kiddish, but I feel like a lot of my coworkers, um, they're very like they talk about a lot of people.
Mm.
I don't know if that's like a common thing at workplaces, but
Mhm.
I feel like particularly at my work, it is very bad.
Okay. Talking about other people in a negative way or positive?
Um, both positive and negative.
Okay. But you would like to see different conversations?
Yeah, I guess more positive than negative.
Hmm. Okay.
Like I don't think like like there's a time and place for things, and like I just wish like everyone kind of got along more.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds like you really care about the types of content of your conversations that you're having with your coworkers. You seem to be very empathetic and you care a lot about the people you surround yourself with.
I also kind of want to like have somebody I think my age working there. I feel like in like the food industry, I feel like there's like really older people and like younger people, but like there's really nobody like the same age as me. Or like, like this or there's